Namaskar, Swagatam. We would like to welcome you all on our 503rd milestone of AYUSH SAMRIDDHI journey of brainstorming. Thank you very much for joining. I would like to communicate my sincere thanks to Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji. Welcome, sir. Professor V.K. Agnihotri ji. Today's lecturers, Dr. Saikat Basu, welcome. Dr. Sotpa ji, Sotpa Vardhan ji, welcome. And Dr. Rajan Khatapkar ji, Swagatam, you all. Today, 2 days are there. Number one, our very special and unique topic, computer literacy, which is needed for Ayurveda. And another thing, which is the concern of global world pollution. So pollution control is also important subject, and computer literacy is also equivalent to the industry, to the academy, and every field of AYUSH. Computerization is necessary, and I am really grateful to NCISM that they are changing the syllabus for AYUSH doctors, and they are involving technology in that syllabus particularly to involve students along with the teachers. So thank you very much for joining. This program will be live on YouTube, so please circulate YouTube link. Due to restrictions, we have invited limited persons as speakers, so please invite. You can invite also on Zoom, and you can circulate YouTube link also. So without wasting much time, I would like to request Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma ji for his welcome initial. Welcome, sir.
Namaskar. Good evening to everybody. Respected Professor V.K. Agnihotri ji, respected Professor Pawan Kumar Sharma ji, distinguished guests, eminent speaker, ladies and gentlemen. I, Professor Dr. Vishnu Prasad Sharma, welcome all of you to this evening webinar on AYUSH pollution control and computerization. It is the most important subject and needed. So in this webinar, we have eminent speaker. I want to welcome Dr. Saikat Kumar Basu, Executive Research Director, Alberta from Canada. I welcome you, sir. Next, I want to welcome Dr. Rajendra Khatapkar, Medico-Legal Advisor from Mumbai. I welcome you, sir. Next, I want to welcome Mrs. Sutapa Vardhan, IT expert, Secretary NGO UCO from Kolkata. So I welcome all the eminent speaker, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening webinar on AYUSH pollution control and computerization. Once again, I welcome all of you. Thank you. Over to Pawanji.
Thank you very much, sir. निशांत शुक्ला जी को नमस्कार, रूपम जी को नमस्कार. रूपम जी आज फर्स्ट टाइम ज्वाइन हुई है.
नमस्कार सर.
नमस्कार शुक्ला जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको ज्वाइन होने के लिए. एंड नाउ आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट प्रोफेसर वीके अग्निहोत्री जी, एंड देन I would like to request then Saikat Basu ji, Professor V.K. Agnihotri ji.
Namaskar. Thank you, Dr. Professor Pawan Sharma ji, and namaskar to all the dignitaries. It's a great pleasure that we are today again celebrating our 503rd webinar in the same continuation. And today we have got two special days which are being celebrated in world and of course in our country. The first one is World Computer Literacy Day, and the second one is National Pollution Control Day. You see, the inception of computer itself, it has completely changed the whole of the life of our globe. The way we were simply writing, listening, copying, cutting, damaging, papers damaging, everything. And the distance was a great point. But now you can get your ticket confirmed, air ticket, railway ticket, LIC. Every department has made a compulsion to use a computer, and so goes the case with our Ayurveda also. We were, when writing or going through our MD thesis, it was very difficult. Once it is wrong, either you have to change the paper or you have to use the white flute. But now, no problem. May there be a spelling mistake, anything, you can delete, subtract, confirm the spelling, everything. And moreover, chart, p-value, t-value, total logarithm, total presentation, pi, so everything is made so easy. And it has been a sort of a great revolution in the life of every individual. We have done everything for cattle, for plants, for human being, for every living being. So computer did a lot, and we have changed our lifestyle. We have changed the total scenario, which was there in 40 years back or 30 years back. So we are going to listen a lot of good things from our distinguished guest speakers. At the same time, National Pollution Control Day, it is of great value, because pollution is one thing which is directly dangerous to our life. Life is sense that if the water is polluted, if the air is polluted, how long we can live, and how long our cattle will live? How can we save our water to maintain the water's potability and its conduciveness? So it is we who are responsible to control the pollution, and ultimately government draw the attention of each and every citizen of India to see that how the pollution can be controlled, so that the citizen of India and the cattle and even the plants, they all will survive, and the life will go on and on. So with these initial words, I welcome all those who are our guests, distinguished guest speakers, especially Dr. Our Rajendra Kharatkar sir, is, as he is advocate, so he is going to highlight the medical legal aspects also from both the angles. Of course, as far as the computer literacy is concerned, only cyber crime can be put under this heading. But as far as the pollution is concerned, there is so many legal points which he will going to reveal in front of all us. And Sutapa madam is there, Vadanji, and Shaukat will be joining soon. And I extend my special thanks to Madam Rupamji, who has just had our conversation, say 15 minutes earlier, as she followed my appeal and request. So I am really thankful, and we do hope that hopefully she will be our guest speaker on tomorrow. So with these all words, we welcome you all, and we are waiting for your knowledgeful presentation. Thank you so much, and over to Dr. Professor Pawan Sharma. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I would like to welcome Anand Kattiji from Bangalore, Dineshwar Prasadji from Bihar, Dr. Neelakshi from Assam. Welcome. So today we would like to initiate our webinar as first speaker from Dr. Saikat Basu from Alberta, Canada. Though he is from Bengal, then also he has his coverage up to Canada. Welcome, Dr. Saikat Basu. Welcome. You are mute. Yes.
Hi, thank you very much, Dr. Sharma.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you once again. Yeah.
Thank you.
Am I going to make the first presentation today?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Okay. Oh, namaste. So I'm going to make the first lecture. This is just what I'm asking. आपका वो mute है.
Yes.
See,
Okay,
you are
get started.
at sequence. You are at number 1, and since you are available, I do hope that we will save our time. Simply because changing the other speakers, it's our pleasure that we will please continue.
Sure. No, it has been a pleasure, and this month I have some time, So I
Thank
have mentioned Dr. Sharma that I'll be doing a few more presentations, and I'll also connect to a few more speakers. Like we have Mrs. Sutapa Bardhan today.
Of course,
who is one of
we
my
can
friends.
take your feedback even after the completion of the today's
Sure.
next speakers. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So highlighting on pollution, the first thing that I'm going to say is that in today's world, like, whenever we are talking about like we are not going to have pollution, like we are looking for challenges, how we can reduce the level of pollution. But even being an environmentalist and being in the field of research for many years, my first perspective on this is that this is a world that we live in where we cannot avoid pollution anymore. It is not technically possible. Like we may live in a utopic world where we think that we can do this, we can do that, we can change this, we can change that. But every major change, from the conventional energy resources to any other applied technology that we may look for reducing pollution, has an extensive cost. And not many countries are able to, make this system transition. So that's very, very challenging in that particular sense. So first, I would suggest that we have to accept that in this present world that we are living in, we have to accept that we will have pollution. Now, how to reduce pollution is a significant challenge. Like we have a lot of alternative suggestions and solutions, but to a large extent, many of these are not feasible. I will give you an example. Canada, for example, is a country that has invested billions of dollars in alternative energy resources. And one of the alternative energy resources in this country is wind energy, which is like those big, gigantic wind turbines that are located along the foothills of the Rocky Mountains down in here. And particularly in this province where I live in, they have wide range gullies and valleys, which are not agriculturally very productive. It's very rocky, but these valleys are used for putting a lot of these, these wind turbines. And it has used to be 100, then you changed into 500, 2000, and over again. And today, Alberta within Canada is one of the major wind energy producer for this country, which several thousand megawatts of electricity are generated through this process. But individually, if you look into the cost of establishing each of these wind turbines, they are humongous. Each one of them is a few $1 million in the cost. And these are not like, when you look at them from a distance, they look like small plastic toys. But if you get closer to them, they are around 20 to 30 feet high, and they have huge size turbines. And these are all from various materials of stainless steel. And even the motor box or the machine that operates is almost like a one-room apartment. It's so big. It's so huge. So the installation of each of these materials or wind turbines, which is again produced from the energy that we used conventionally, which is coal energy or thermal energy, whatever the country has used, has been humongous. And then the cost of installation and the maintenance of these wind turbines are also very expensive. It is possible for a first world country or a G7 country like Canada to invest such a huge amount of money in establishing these wind turbines to look for alternative energy to reduce pollution. But this technology is so expensive that it is not feasible for many other countries who are looking for a transition in this process. Furthermore, what we have found out is that these wind turbines, when they are all in operation, like when they had 100, it was one kind of problem. When we have thousands of them located across a few kilometers or few thousand kilometers around, square kilometers of area covered, although there is a scientific distance maintained between each of these turbines, we found that there is an confounding effect of one fan impacting the flow of other fans. So it produces a kind of an eddy current within the zone in which these fans are operating or these wind turbines are operating. Over the years, we are seeing that there is a subsequent decline of wind energy production down the years. It is because one of these machines is interacting the next one, the third one is interacting the fourth one is interacting with the fifth one, and all this is creating a negative air pressure down in that line, which is also attracting insects in large number, birds in large numbers. And we have been finding that in and around agricultural areas, where wind turbines have been installed, the number of friendly insects, whether it's bees or butterflies or moths, are all gone. And even it is killing bats and birds, like, because this also operates during the night, and the bats which actually fly over these areas get sucked into these wind pressures or these heavy pressures, and they get killed. And even birds, like particularly North America is a huge migratory ground for thousands of birds or millions of birds that cross from one section of the continent to the other, passes through this area. They get hit by this wind turbines, and the government has to, like, implement a rule and even place people down there to remove the dead birds that are killed during the night, so that people passing through on cars or driveways along the highways do not see this scene of hundreds and thousands of birds that are dying and lying below these wind turbines. So although this is one example, like, definitely it cuts down your coal emission, but it has other impacts on the nature, which we never thought that there would be by installing alternative energy resources. So this is a very classical example that I use in my talks, that whenever we are looking for changing into alternative energy resources or looking into an alternative technology, not always this results in the desirable direction that we are going to look in. I'll give you another very significant example that we have gone through here is, like, spraying of pesticides is a huge issue. For, like, crop production, it is important. But in case of traditional agriculture, where you have hundreds and thousands of acres of various crops growing, you have to spray some of these insecticides. There is a rise of organic agriculture in this country, in North America, in Europe, in Australia, and other advanced countries. But still, it is nothing compared to the need of the agricultural production, which is met predominantly by our conventional agriculture, where we use a wide diversity of chemicals, including synthetic chemical fertilizers, organic fertilizers, as well as various synthetic chemical pesticides, which are extremely toxic. They are toxic to insects, they're toxic to birds, they're toxic to humans, they're toxic to animals. But largely saying, because these chemical companies have been there for a long time, our agriculture, industrial agriculture, have got used to this application, and farmers, whether it's in a developing or in an underdeveloped countries, are very sensitive about their crops, the protection of their crops, so that they get a good harvest at the end of the season. But what happens is they usually apply these pesticides way above the recommended level, even mentioned in those bottles. So they cross the threshold level and not only kill the target insects, pests that we are looking for, but they're also killing non-target, important farmer-friendly insects like bees, moths, butterflies, beetles, and every other thing that helps in cross-pollination. Furthermore, what happens is that with the application of the chemicals, many of these are dropping down on the ground, and many of them do not degrade very fast. These chemicals stay on the soil as a soil residue for a long time. We all know that. And they are washed by irrigation water, they are washed away by rainwater, and sometimes and often they will percolate into the ground, and they will kill a large number of insects and will pollute the groundwater table. And then whatever will flow off into the surrounding surface water bodies, which is like lakes, pools, bogs, swamps, rivers, whatever it is available close by, they also get polluted by the application of these chemicals. So to reduce, like, this has been a menace. So to reduce the use of chemicals to kill insects, one of the technology that we use, which is called integrated pest management, or IPM, is the use of biopesticides in the form of biological pesticides. Can you hear?
Today is our subject on computerization.
Yeah. I will link to what I am saying. Computer and pollution. So what is happening is we have changed by using various insects to kill other insects. We are monitoring them throughout various systems, and what we are finding out at the end is the fact that these insects, which we introduce to kill other insects, is not only killing the target insects, but they are also killing other beneficial insects. So all these technologies that we have been utilizing and using is now being monitored by a highly precision system of agriculture, which is computer generated, and it's a high precision system. now the challenge of utilizing these computer systems for evaluation, like, it is taking your pictures, they are processing, it is monitoring the health of the plants, it is monitoring the health of the pest loads, the amount of pests coming into your fields. There are sensitive sensors that are collecting hundreds and thousands of these data points and are transferring this to giant computer systems that are being transferred to the farmers, who can make then judicious decisions about what they want to do with the crop protection by environmental sustainability. This is a good part, but the thing is that these are very expensive models. Very expensive in the sense that in a country like India, where we are also looking for reducing the level of pollution, and we are talking about using computer-based technologies for all these kinds of monitoring, which are providing you with giant data sets, are causing trouble in the sense that it is becoming unaffordable. And even in Western countries, because of this technology transition, or information technology has been integrated into agriculture, a system which is called precision agriculture, where you can identify one single plant with the use of these high-powered softwares, with the high-powered computer. So like one plant in an entire field of 1,000 acres that has a disease can be detected through this system. But the cost of running this mechanism is so high, it is increasing the crop production prices. So the cost of food in the Western countries is accelerating at an unprecedented rate. This is one of the challenges that we need to looking for sustainable technology to be monitored with this computerized system. No doubt, there is huge opportunity to change the scenario by making it very precise by the amount of fertilizers you are applying, by the amount of pesticides that you may apply, and the crop growth and other maintenance that you can do. But at the same time, similar case in the industries, the giant data system that has been helping in collecting information to cut down the pollution is also increasing the cost of production. Now, it is not always easy to cut down your cost subsequently and also install the same system at the same time. So there is a need for optimization of how the computer application system could be eligible and applied in our industry and agriculture to cut down costs, so that it becomes feasible for a wide set of agricultural industry, particularly in case of developing and underdeveloped countries, which has the subsequently larger part of the the larger part of the population. So there is less opportunities in that, to my understanding, in making these computer-based technologies that we are using in collecting a huge amount of data set at every stages in industry and agriculture, which is greatly beneficial, but also increases significant cost. And the production of this electronic material in huge amount to be used at an industrial scale in major industry and agriculture is also another kind of pollution, in the same sense that these are again generated through this traditional system. So I leave you with this question as whether this technology that we are talking about information technology being integrated with our assisted production across different countries, how much this is feasible and affordable and accessible to the developing and underdeveloped countries under the present circumstances. Thank you so much. I once again appreciate you welcoming to this platform and forum, and look forward to see you again. If there is any question, I would very much be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Sakat. You are inspiring as always. You start in flow, continuous in flow. Excellent. Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So now I would like to request Dr. Rajendra Khatapkar ji. He is doctor also. He is lawyer also. So double Brahmastra. Very senior legal expert from Mumbai, Dr. Advocate Dr. Rajendra Khatapkar. Welcome, Dr. Rajendra.
Professor Pawan Sharma ji, sir,
Yeah.
you see, we have seen Dr. Saukat's today's face for the first time, well combed hair. This is one thing where he is. This is most charming and attractive for the first time. Thank you, Dr. Sauk.
He is philosopher and scientist, sir. So
Yeah, that's why today was the change scenario.
Right, very right. So now welcome Dr. Khatapkar Sahib, welcome.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Shall I share my
Swagatam.
screen? Shall I?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. First of all, I thank organizers for allowing me to give a lecture and calling me, especially Professor Dr. Pawan Kumar Sharma, Professor Vishnu Prasad Sharma, Professor V.K. Agnihotri, and AYUSH SAMRIDDHI. Thank you. Without wasting much time, we will start with the topic. As I am going to talk pollution legalities, there are general legalities, but we will be more concentrating on medical legal aspects of the pollution. What it has got, it has changed a little bit our profession, what applicabilities to our profession. We will be concentrating on that. My screen is visible, sir. Hello. And my voice is also. Hello.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. To start with the topic, let us start from the very beginning. In June the 72 United Nations in a United Nations conference, there was a conference for a purpose to take the proper steps for protection and improvement of human environment. And in that conference, India was a participant. And afterwards, in September 72, that to concentrating on the same object, in India, Central Pollution Control Board was established under Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974, as well as Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981. It provides the technical advices to the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Wildlife under Environment Protection Act 1986. This act was established afterwards. There are different types of waste and pollutions. Let us enumerate what are those. Air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, waste management, hazardous waste. There are many wastes are there which are hazardous to environment as well as human being, to the plants, and etc. etc. There are municipal solid waste. There are dry waste and wet waste. They segregate nowadays. They have started segregation of the waste also, and they are charging for solid waste also. Then another thing, biomedical waste, in the under which we are also covered all the medical practitioner, whether they are general practitioner, whether consultant, whether they are hospital owners, all they are amenable to the biomedical waste rules. We will come to that. Then plastic waste. Nowadays, the thin plastics are banned. E-waste, there are many norms which ask to how we should, that tells how we should tell the electrical batteries and all those things. Our old mobiles, old laptop batteries, etc. etc. Then construction demolition waste. Let us see, we concentrated on the Environment Protection Act 1986. It is the Act number 29 of 1986. This Act tells us various definitions which are applicable to which it is necessary for us to understand. Then what is environment? It includes especially water, air, and land. Abhawa, water, air, and land, and their interrelationship along among water, air, land, human being, other living creatures, not only human being, other living creatures, so birds, aquatic creatures, etc., plants, microorganisms, and property. What is environmental pollutants? Any solid, liquid, or gaseous substance injurious to environment is labeled as an environmental pollutant. What is handling? Because many of us are handling this biomedical waste. So we need to know this definition that is under section 2D. In relation to any substance, handling in relation to any substance means manufacture, procession, treatment, package, storage, transportation, use, collection, destruction, conversion, offering for sale, transfer, or like other substances. This is the handling. Most of us are handlers of biomedical waste because we produce biomedical waste. So it is production, manufacture. What are the hazardous substances? Hazardous substances are any substance or preparation, by which reason of the chemical, physico-chemical property or handling is liable to cause harm to human beings, other living creatures, plant, microorganisms, property, or the environment. Now let us come to what is biomedical waste, because all of us are going to generating biomedical waste. So these legalities are more applicable to us. So we need to concentrate on those. Biomedical waste management and handling rules. Under these rules, the powers were conferred by Section 6, 8, and 25 of Environment Protection Act 1986. Central government, that is Ministry of Environment and Forest and Wildlife, is empowered to announce some notification, and central government published a notification on biomedical waste management and handling rules 1998. They invited objections of the public within 16 days. All these objections were considered, and after that central government notified the biomedical waste management and handling rules 1998, and this was in 1998. It was amended, subsequently amended 2 times. Now biomedical waste management and handling rules 1998 are applied to those who generate, collect, receive, store, transport, treat, dispose, and handle the biomedical waste in any form, and it requires permission, that is called as an authorization from Pollution Control Board. This Pollution Control Board is at 2 levels. One is Central Pollution Control Board, and another is every state has got Pollution Control Board. If I am living in Maharashtra, then Maharashtra Pollution Control Board. If you are living in Assam, then it is Assam Pollution Control Board, which is under the Central Pollution Control Board, which is governed by Environment Protection Act. This is the simple flow chart. So what is this authorization fee? It is the permission to generate the biomedical waste. So medical practitioners are under 2 categories. Either they are general practitioner or consultant, or they are hospital owners. So general practitioners, this authorization fee is generally waived by a board, Pollution Control Board, after producing an affidavit that they see less than 1,000 patients per month, and this authorization fee is waived. Conversely, for hospital owners, they are not waiving this authorization fee, and apart from that, that authorization fee is assessed in the slabs of number of the beds. So if it is 0 to 50, 51 to 2,200, 201 to 5,000, and 5,000 above. These are the slabs, and authorization fee as well as service fee. The service to dispose the biomedical waste, it is also, that charges also vary. So what are those charges of local disposable agency? So biomedical state pollution control board allows local biomedical waste disposable agency, and that particular area is allotted to that particular. They can't exceed their municipal limits, and they demand their charges. It depends on the either as the slab wise. Now, what is state board? State board means State Pollution Control Board, constituted under Section 4 of Water Prevention of Control and Pollution Act 1974, or a State Pollution Control Board constituted under Section 5 of Air Pollution Control Prevention and Control Pollution Act. Legal aspects I have already mentioned. It is under Section 6, 8 and 20 of Environment Protection Act. Now, what are the steps in the management of the biomedical waste? First, they survey the waste generated. Then afterwards, they segregate the hospital waste. Then collect and categorize the waste. Then the storage of the waste, and then transportation of the waste and treatment of the waste. These are the 5 steps. Now after they collect, there is a particular way of collecting and storing. These are the ways. These are the 5-6 types of the biomedical waste. Let us see stepwise. First is the non-infected waste, which is cytotoxic drugs and chemical waste, and which is to be collected in black container, and it is given chemical treatment, and it is secured in the landfilling. This was the treatment. And what are the non-infected waste? These are solid waste, anatomical waste, infected waste, and sharp. So for solid waste, what are the solid waste? It is the infected dressings, plaster of Paris, cast, and etc. etc. They are to be collected in red container, and which is to be autoclaved, and it is deep buried. Then another infected waste is anatomical waste. These are the placenta, pathological waste, bloody parts, and excision parts, pus, etc. So they are to be collected in a yellow container, and they are to be disposed in after the deep burial. Another infected waste is the plastics, infected plastic. These are syringes, gloves, plastic waste, etc. They are to be collected in the blue container, and they are to be disinfected with 1% chlorine solution, and they are mutilated, and then they are disposed. Another is the sharp. This sharp is to be collected in white plastic container, and they are also treated with the 1% chlorine solution, and they are disposed in the sharp pit. These are the ways. These are the ways to store. These are the ways how they are treated, and these are the ways how they are finally disposed. Every type of waste has got different ways. So this is the same thing again given in a tabular manner. After the collection, on every this container, they have to paste a label, and that label should mention the date of generation of the biomedical waste category number, whether which category. Then that category number is here given in this chart. Category number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this number should be mentioned. Waste description, what it is, whether it is sharp, whether it is anatomical waste, whether it is infected pollutant, etc. etc. Sender's name, address, contact number, receiver's name and address, contact person, and in case of emergency, which persons to be contacted. And this label should be non-washable and permanently visible. Biomedical waste is treated in 5 ways. This is the chemical process, thermal process, mechanical process, eradication process, and biological process. So let us see what are those processes. Hello. Chemical process means the waste is treated with disinfectants, that is sodium hypochlorite, hydrogen peroxide, peracetic acid, etc. In thermal process, the biomedical waste is treated with heat, like in incinerators, etc. So low heat systems, high heat systems, and or autoclave. This is the thermal process. Mechanical process, this biomedical waste is compressed, compactation, shredding to change the physical forms or characterization of the waste. Then irradiation process, use of ultraviolet ionizing radiation in enclosed chamber. Last, biological process, use of biological enzymes to decontaminate and destruction of organic constituents. Best practices for medical waste handling. Know your healthcare waste laws, because nowadays you can't say that I was knowing these laws. And after 2004, all medical practitioners are coming under these laws, and it is the one of the burden on our pockets. So we have to know what are those norms. So know healthcare waste laws, classify medical waste correctly, separate the waste by type, use the right medical waste in right type of container, in right color container, prepare container properly, include right documentation, use medical waste disposable color code, and right waste disposal. These are the best practices, and all of us, if we follow these things, then we will be serving our environment, which will give us good type of breathing and oxygen. Thank you. If any questions are there, I am ready to answer.
Thank you very much, Katavkar साहब. Very short and sweet. बहुत ही कंसाइज वे में आपने सभी कुछ एक्सप्लेन किया. Thank you very much. Question answer session will be after last speaker. So now I would like to request Dr. Ms. Sutpa Vardhan ji from Calcutta. Welcome, madam. She is social activist also. She is IT expert. Welcome. Your voice is not coming, madam.
Am I audible now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. So can you see my screen as well?
Yes.
Okay.
You can go for slideshow.
Very
Yeah.
well.
So very good evening to all of you and a very good morning. And so I'm very, very delighted to be a part of this session. So this is my first time presentation and my presence. I've heard IU sessions earlier and they have been always overwhelming. So today's session is obviously something very, very close to everybody's heart. Not only our heart, but it deals with the larger part of the population of this world. And be it environment, be it humans, or be it like even computer, which I'll talk about. This is something which we all need to be aware of. So for the interest of time, since I'm the last speaker, I'll not take much because our earlier speakers have taken it so well, and I think it was very, very exemplary speeches we heard from Dr. Basu as well as our eminent speaker just before me. So before I start myself, yes, I am an IT professional. I'm also a part of an NGO and, serving mankind and, giving mental health speeches as well as positive thinking is one of my key areas, which I enjoy as my passion. So coming to, just a second. Yes. Okay, so if I question, the very basic terminology, what do we mean by computerization? So computerization is obviously using of computer, and we use the computer system for different activities. And what do we mean by different activities? It is taking our generation to the next step. Okay, so we started for computers years back, and we know how it started from large computer system to what we have as nano computers today. So it is not only teaching accounting, but we will see like what are the areas where we cover computerization. Next, if I want to understand what is pollution control, I think after the great sessions we had from our earlier speakers, I don't have to talk here, but all that I want to say here is pollution control is a process of reducing and eliminating the release of pollutants in the environment. So we heard from our earlier speakers that there are various ways how pollutions are happening in the environment. And if we look into, if we bubble up the different areas of environment, like we were hearing about agriculture, how the pesticides were bringing in pollutions in the environment. We also heard the biomedical pollutions in the environment. So this is something which we all need to be careful, that it is one of the key hazards which is happening to us. And today there will be a twist in my session and in my PPT, where you will hear it is not only pollution control which is getting controlled by the computer itself is causing some amount of pollution in the system. Why is pollution control important? Pollution control is important so that we human beings can live and survive long. It reduces the use of toxic material. It promotes more efficiency of using the raw materials, and as well as, and also protecting ourselves from the coming hazards which we might be having. Just a second. Okay. Now coming to the next part is what is pollution prevention. So we have heard from our earlier speakers different ways, from where we do pollution prevention. So it is a practice which will reduce and eliminate the waste, and we see that the different ways of the waste management, how we do. So there are areas where we not only dispose the waste, the polluted waste, but there are ways by which encouragement is being done for the recycling part. Now coming to what we can say is, like how come computer technology protect the environment. So I think this is a topic which we all know, that computer has reached every part of human being's life, and the data which the computer deals with is one of the key areas where we use the data for the pollution control. So we understand where the pollution is, to what extent, what degree the pollution is. With the help of computerization, we detect pollution through machine learning, artificial intelligence, algorithms, data analytics. And here we not only do data detection of pollution, get the analytics as well as a graphical representation, and the data mining part, which helps us to come and figure out the pollution which is there and then take care of the pollution control. So here we see that there are computer-aided tools which share information with us and provide links and to environmental sustainable resources. These tools will provide us with the sustainable environment as well as help us in the pollution prevention, energy efficiency, green engineering, manufacturing, environmental health and safety, and recycling. Now, there is a twist. As I said, like here we just talked about computer helping us to do pollution control in the form of getting the right data, getting the right devices to do the pollution control. But at the same time, if we go deep into it, we see that computers are also causing pollution. So how are computers causing pollution? Computers will contain heavy metals, lead, toxic chemicals that pollute the soil. So when lot of um, computers or laptops which are not getting used are disposed, so they will contaminate the soil and pollute the soil. So we run off from landfills, contaminated drinking water, water used for bathing, which exposes people to these dangerous chemicals. So smart homes have systems that can reduce the amount of power used at home. And at the same time, in a closed room, if we use computer, the PAH released from the computer contribute to the air pollution as well. So very, very important that instead of using the computers, we go for green IT. So what does green IT aims at? Green IT aims at reducing the impact of IT system on the environment, as well as improving the sustainability, and of course, the thanks to the uses of that. So what do we do for that? What is green computing? So we come to a terminology called green computing. So green computing is also known as green IT and sustainable IT. It is a design, manufacture, use, and disposal of computers, chips, other technology components, and peripherals in a way that limits the harmful impact on the environment, including reducing carbon emission and the energy consumed by the manufacturers, the data centers, as far as the computerization is concerned. So we are very, very keen to see that the practice of environmentally sustainable computing is not hampering and further not polluting the environment. So here we see that what do we do to do it in an eco-friendly manner, so that we talk of using this green computing, using reducing, reusing, and recycling. So here, if you see the graph, so what do we have as a green IT knowledge? We believe in the green technology. We use the green IT system and green computing practices. So which might not be the scope of our discussion today. And finally, having a social influence, we go for the sustainability of the computer. So finally, what is the conclusion about the pollution? While the effects of air pollution on material, vegetation, and animals can be measured, health effects on human can only be estimated for epidemical evidences. So it's high time and important for us to look and focus forward and take care of the pollution control. So here with this, I would end my session, and if I would be happy to answer any question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Today's webinar is really punctual, that it is absolutely completed within 1 hour. Excellent, madam. Excellent. We will be troubling you again and again on relevant topics. You are great speaker. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you to Dr. Sakat also for introducing you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Agnihotri sir. Now the stage is yours, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaskar. Really, we are glad to see that within stipulated time, we all got all the informations from 3 guest distinguished speakers, and especially they covered pollution itself and the pollution due to computer say invention, or due to overuse and overuse of say computer. Now the challenge is, or the message is, that where we have to stop. We have to stop so that we would be in position to save ourselves, our planet, our plants, our aquarius, say animals, and of course our all the cattle and birds also. Very, very serious matter, and government and world authorities are very much serious and concerned over all these things. So segregation of all sorts of dye, wet, and say waste products and all that. All the 3 speakers covered the whole thing. So as per your instruction, now the session is open, and we have got next 20-25 minutes to take out all other persons' views from the dignitaries who have joined our platform. And I think today, since we are missing for quite a long time our respected Dr. Jagdish Domaji, because of simply delay or late, he used not to be available. So today he is very much available. I think Dr. Domaji's say words will be of great value on today's topic. So I very respectfully invite Dr. Jagdish Domaji, please, you please join and say a few words on today's topic. Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Namaskar, Agnihotri ji.
Sir, namaskar.
Am I quite audible?
Yes, 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 please continue.
दादाजी को नमस्कार. दादाजी मने पवन कुमार शर्मा.
प्रोफेसर पवन शर्मा जी.
उनको मैं हमेशा दादाजी कहता हूँ, इसलिए.
But he's not Bengali. But he's not Bengali.
Certainly, I know it. But he long lived in Bengal. Now
Yes.
he has got shifted to his, I think, native place.
Yeah.
When I had been introduced to Dr. Sahib, Professor Sahib, now Professor Sahib.
That
Then
shows some formality.
I used to call him Dadaji only, right from then onwards. I think that might have not been exaggeration of my talk, giving a little presentation that all might have presented about the mundane pollution. There are three
Mundane.
spheres. One, mundane, supramundane, and spiritual. In what respect we can consider that supramundane? For example, these mundane things are worldly. In simple terminology, mundane things are worldly. And at the same time, the worldly things are controlled and monitored by supramundane. For example, if we certainly goes to the theory that everybody, whosoever live on this planet or in another planet, they should think that at the same time, are we able to being human beings, right, utilizing the abundance of nature? That should be the consciousness of the human brain. It cannot be with other living beings. It can be only with human being in utilization, in proper utilization of the mundane wealth. For example, a little bit I give about the water. Leave aside air, it comes later on. Water right from its starting point, it would not be a polluted one. Why? Because it is a natural flow generated from a point. Am I audible, Agnihotriji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Quite clear. Quite clear.
At the starting point, it would not be, it will not be also polluted. But when it starts and flows down, then the thing of pollution starts. When it comes to the utilization of living beings, other than human being, I think that if anything polluted by discharging feces, by birds or animals in it, the water, we cannot attribute that it has done wrong, because it is not conscious that it should be like that. I am going to pollute. That is why it is in instinct where they do. But whereas the human being, does he not develop consciousness that where we should discreet and how the water should be utilized? Right from then onwards only the pollution starts. Likely, even the discharge of other things, whether industrial wastage or whatever wastage, where does it go? The conscious, now they are discussing when it has come to the point of a dangerous existence. It has become a dangerous to the survival of the living beings. Then we have aroused our, that means intelligence. Likely, one, about the air also. Even for the pollution of air is a point of sound pollution. Sound pollution, for example, I'm not criticizing anybody. In good olden days, there was not a point of watch or time calculation and all those things. At that time, the sunrise, and right from sunrise, this time, it is the time to go run to prayer. That is why people were calling, going to the tower of the area and calling that now the prayer time is come, gather like that. It is the sound pollution, what is done today. And it is not so necessary of the developed society of today's that the time is fixed. By that time, they can settle there, they can gather there. But even then also, the good olden days or bad olden days, whatever it would have been, where the time calculation was not unreached, that is why they were calling. But it has become a tradition. Nobody is going to, they cannot be questioned. Likely the pollution has come about the sound in the air and riding of the vehicles. It does not mean that I am coming riding on a bullet. That is why it should be this much sound and raise and go speed, creating pollution that one should get trembled. This is the nonsensical thing going on in this society to expose themselves as a personality. Likely the sound pollution is going on. Air that is confined to air. And at the same time, so much chemicals are used in the agriculture, farming and harvesting and whatever it may be, that even the outcome which is not being utilized has become a very, very dangerous for the living beings. That is also the pollution in the air by chemicals. And other things are there which can be, for example, installing the towers, mobile towers or whatever towers they are installing. What I heard, their emanating or vibrational things, they are causing to such an extent that where their vibrations are, their waves are dangerous to even to the fetus, even to a pregnant, even children in the surrounding area. That is why frequently on my mobile comes that nobody is carrying any permission from our side. Installation of such towers are not allowed in thickly populated area, though it is coming. But the installation is going on in the midst of the cities. I think that big cities, they are objecting. At my district level, there are number of cell phone towers are installed in thickly populated area, just by infusing that this much rent or that much rent may be. But is it not the duty of the government to forbid? Where it is forbidden on mobile only, but it is going on. If it is in legal perspective, it is thought of, immediately it should be avoided from installation itself. That thing. And another, I think that this is all worldly things. What about mundane and supramundane? On supramundane line, about to the worldly level, for example, creating an atmosphere by some group of people that there will be a catastrophe, there will be a coming a dangerous atmosphere created, and the masses will get feared of. That is something in supramundane style it is created, and they are trying also. But this is, if very subtly observed, in what way it is going on, means it is in every participation by countries or individuals, it is also going on. This is also a kind of pollution on supramundane level. And they are trying to control in that supramundane level. And the third thing is this, in spiritual perspective, the pollution is brought down to the level of religious perspective. Actually, religious and spirituality is quite different. Spirituality is not the confinement of a religion. Only spiritual values should be in spiritual nature only. But no, it has been given religious cover. And their sayings are their texts and their epochs and their dictations. Okay, to some extent, a group may be accepting, but to what extent? A teaching will be, that means a hazardous to one group and will be convenient to another group. Is this the discrimination of spiritual level? And the creation should be thought of, and a group should be thought of that they are not godly people, and a group of people are godly people. Who told nonsense about
Sir,
these things?
we have to take
These
some others
religious
also.
dictations. This is not on human nature and human level. It should be accepted, because it is for the human being, manavata, humanity, and humanity is the highest level of the living being, where the human being should not think about human culture only. No, it should think all down to the creature. A small ant should not also be killed
Sir,
without
thank you.
knowledge of you.
We have to take the thoughts of others also, sir.
Likely,
Yes.
we should consider on spiritual level, every living being has got its value. Likely, I say that these texts, religious texts, they are misleading these spiritual guidelines. And for them, I think that a big blow is necessary to teach them and keep them in discipline. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure that you pointed out so many very important things. First of all, that the water is what was not polluted. It has been made polluted, not only polluted, but contaminated by human beings. So goes the case with the installation of the TV towers and also the over-sounded noise pollution done by the bikes also. Thank you so much, sir. Now we have got our three special dignitaries, including Vaid Rajan Padankarji, Professor Nishant Shuklaji, and our most importantly, one more, I think,
Dr. Sadhana Vaikarji.
Sadhana, of course, she is very much in front of us, and I'm just missing. I'm just searching the list. Our Dean Madam, Sadhana Vaikarji. So,
Namaskar,
start
sir.
with the ladies first. I would like to request Madam Sadhana ji to please say a few words on today's topic. Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar.
नमस्कार सर, आवाज आ रही है आपको?
जी आ रही, प्लीज आ रही.
1 मिनट सर. नमस्कार अग्निहोत्री जी, नमस्कार शर्मा जी. आज का टॉपिक बहुत ग्रेटफुल उसको हैंडल किया हुआ है, क्योंकि वो सब्जेक्ट है. ये कंप्लीटली ह्यूमन बीइंग के लिए काफी सारा वो सब्जेक्ट है. उसमें बैड इफेक्ट जो बॉडी पर होता है, और हम आयुष के बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं, तो मैं इस पे थोड़ा सा प्रकाश डालने चाहूंगी कि हम आयुर्वेद के हिसाब से हम इसमें क्या कर सकते हैं. सबसे पहले तो मुझे जो हम लोगों को पढ़ाया गया और मैं पढ़ाती थी, उसमें यह है कि स्वस्थ ऋतु का यदि हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे यूज किया जाए, और हम बताते भी है पेशेंट को कि सुबह नहाने के पहले आपने अभ्यंग करना चाहिए, तेला अभ्यंग करना चाहिए, कि जिसके वजह से बाहर निकलने के बाद जो पोल्यूशन स्किन पे होता है, स्किन पे जो बैड इफेक्ट होता है वो होगा नहीं। दूसरा, नस्से बताया गया है कि सुबह आप वॉशरूम में कोई भी तेल जो घर में हो, तिल तेल, सरसों तेल, थोड़ा वार्म अप करके रखा जाए और 2 ड्रॉप्स इन नस्से लिया जाए। नॉर्मली सभी लोगों को, ये जरूरी नहीं कि हॉस्पिटल में जाके लिया जाए, और डेली यूज में नस्से भी किया जाए, तो उससे जो होने वाला जो पोल्यूशन है, एयर पोल्यूशन, उसमें काफी सारा कंट्रोल हम कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद गंडूश हमें बताया गया है, गंडूश यदि क्वाथका करे या फिर कवल धारण करे तेल का, तो उससे भी काफी इफेक्ट बॉडी पर अच्छा इफेक्ट होता है, और बाहर से जो पोल्यूशन है वो नहीं हो पाएगा। और इस तरह से हम प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए जो लंग्स और इस पर जो इफेक्ट होता है सबसे ज्यादा पोल्यूशन का, उसको हम कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। मुझे और हॉस्पिटल के इससे जो पंचकर्मा जो है, मुझे सबसे ज्यादा इसमें इफेक्ट हुआ है, मतलब फायदा हुआ है पेशेंट को। आइसर और आईटी कंपनी के जो होते हैं, उनको कंटिन्यूशन जो कंप्यूटराइज काम करते हैं, तो उसका बहुत ज्यादा बैड इफेक्ट उनके आई पर होता है, ब्रेन पे होता है, नींद पर होता है। तो ऐसे काफी सारे पेशेंट थे मेरे पास जिन्होंने नींद ही नहीं थी, ड्राई आइस हुए थे, इतने ड्राई आइस कि उनको पता ही नहीं चलता था कि हमें आंखें हैं और आंखें में कुछ ड्रॉप्स होते हैं, ये भी नहीं पता था, क्योंकि उनको इतनी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम थी ड्राई आइस की। और ये बाकी जो मानसिक था, उनको चिड़चिड़ होना, रात में नींद नहीं आना, चक्कर आना, ये सब भ्रम वगैरह, ये सब जो थे उनको, तो उनको हमने पंचकर्म से ठीक किया है। हेलो हेलो।
हाँ, you are audible, madam. You
जी
are
सर।
audible. हाँ,
तो इसमें हमने अक्षितर्पण, त्रिफला घृत से, सिरोधारा तिल तेल से, एंड बस्ती उनको ज्यादातर हमने यूज में की है। स्नेह स्वेदन ऑलरेडी तो उनको होता ही है, क्योंकि सर्वांग स्नेह स्वेदन करने के बाद ही हम अक्षितर्पण, सिरोधारा, ये सब चीजें उनको ट्रीटमेंट में दिया गया और काफी फायदा हुआ है। आइसर के वो फैकल्टीज थे काफी सारी, और उन्हें मेनली बस्ती का भी यूज किया, क्योंकि इसमें वात और पित्त का बहुत ज्यादा प्रादुर्भाव होता है, कफ का नाश होता है, इसलिए कफ वृद्धि कर जो भी कर्म थे, हम पंचकर्म का इसमें यूज करके इसमें काफी अच्छा रिजल्ट मिला है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो पोल्यूशन होता है उसके पहले यदि हम लोगों ने किया जाए, या जो कंप्यूटराइज वर्क करते हैं और उसका जो बैड इफेक्ट होता है शरीर पर, मेनली आंखों पर, ब्रेन पर, तो उनको हम बीच बीच में अक्षितर्पण उनको बताया जाए, स्नेह स्वेदन बताया जाए, कि जिस वजह से उनको बाद में जो बैड इफेक्ट होता है वो नहीं हो पाएगा। तो इसके लिए हमें आयुष के तरफ से भी एक उनको मतलब हमें सजेशन देना चाहिए कि इस तरह का हम जो आईटी कंपनीज है उनको हमने वहां पे हमारा वर्कशॉप या सेमिनार्स या ये सब लेके, क्योंकि उनको इस बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है, उनको मॉडर्न ट्रीटमेंट खाली पता है, आयुर्वेद और आयुर्वेद में पंचकर्म में ये सब बातें है, ये उनको अभी तक नहीं पता है। तो हमें इसका ज्यादा से ज्यादा इसके लिए हमने ट्राई करना चाहिए, सभी कॉलेजेस ने या हमारे जो संस्थाएं है। तो हम एक सजेशन, जब हम आयुष के लिए वेबिनार कर रहे हैं, आयुष के साथ ये अलग अलग जो बातें हम कर रहे हैं वो बहुत सुंदर बातें हैं, कि उसके ऊपर किसी की नजर ही नहीं जाती कि पोल्यूशन के साथ में आयुर्वेद का कोई संबंध हो या उसके ऊपर बोला जाए। जब हम आज बोल रहे हैं तो इसके लिए हमने सजेशन देना चाहिए, उनको एक लेटर हम लिखे, उनको बात करें उनसे, आयुष से, और इस तरह से ऐसा कुछ प्लान बनाया कि जिससे हम आईटी कंपनी में आयुर्वेद को किस तरह से डेवलप कर सकते हैं, और उनके पेशेंट्स या उनके होने वाले जो बैड इफेक्ट्स है उनको प्रिवेंट ट्रीटमेंट दे। जब हम प्रिवेंट ट्रीटमेंट करेंगे तो आगे हमें कोई ज्यादा तकलीफ उनको नहीं होगी, लक्षण नहीं दिखाई देंगे। इतना ही मेरा कहना है कि पंचकर्म का यूज इस पोल्यूशन में, एयर पोल्यूशन, वॉइस पोल्यूशन, कंप्यूटराइज, इसमें पंचकर्म सबसे बेस्ट है। इतना ही मैं कहना चाहूंगी। नमस्कार।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच। आपने बहुत बढ़िया बात बताई और स्वास्थ्य को याद दिला दिया, जो कि मेरी सबसे बड़ी कहने से कमजोरी है या फील्ड है। आपने नस के बारे में बताया, अभ्यंग के बारे में बताया और पंचकर्म को भी हाईलाइट दी।
सर मेरा
और सबसे जी नहीं
मेरा
देखिए
कांची की
हमारे
साइड
यहाँ
पंचकर्म ही है, एमडी
जी
जामनगर
वायु
से।
प्रदूषण के लिए फ्यूमिगेशन है, हमारे यहाँ यज्ञ थेरेपी है। हमारे देव संस्कृत विश्वविद्यालय में शांति कुंज में यज्ञ के द्वारा तो वायु प्रदूषण दूर करने की बहुत बड़ी विधा है। हमारी सारी संध्या, बहुत आपका धन्यवाद।
हाँ सर, वो
हमारे
तो हम करते ही है वायु प्रदूषण के लिए। हॉस्पिटलाइज में जो भी धूपन कर्म जो करते हैं वो सबसे बेस्ट है हमारे लिए। पर ये आईटी कंपनी और ये जो हायर लोग हैं उनको अभी तक आयुर्वेद के बारे में थोड़ा सा मतलब लो है, इससे क्या होगा। पर मैंने सर आइसर
जाएगा मैसेज। देखिए जैसे अपना स्नेक प्लांट है और तुलसी प्लांट है, ये लोग लगने लगे हैं, गिलोय भी लगाते हैं। उसी तरीके से अब ये नित्य हवन करने का भी प्लान करते हैं। हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारी आयुर्वेद की फार्मेसीज हैं जहां पर कार्य ही शुरू होता है। योगी फार्मेसी में पहले वो आर्य समाज से हैं, पहले हवन होता है, उसके बाद ही कर्मचारी जो है जाते हैं काम पर और
पहले
सभी लोग
हमारे यहाँ हर घर में होता था सर। शाम को दिया बत्ती करने के बाद में दिया लगाए, पूजा करते वक्त थोड़ा ना थोड़ा हवन होता था। हवन भी नहीं बोले, एक धूपन टाइप होता था।
धूपन ही है वो, शॉर्ट धूपन हो गया। तो आपका
नीम पत्र का
आपका
जी
बहुत
सर,
बहुत धन्यवाद।
आपने इतना बड़ा प्लेटफॉर्म हमें
आपके वैल्यूएबल इनपुट के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं देख पा रहा हूँ हमारे आज के इस प्लेटफॉर्म में हमारी मैडम नेहा मलिक जी, जो मुस्कान फाउंडेशन से चेयरपर्सन है हरिद्वार की, वो जुड़ चुकी हैं रूपम जौहरी के साथ साथ। तो आप दोनों लोगों का हमारे यहाँ बहुत बड़ा स्वागत है। हमें पूरी आशा है कल हमारे ये गेस्ट स्पीकर्स होंगे। हम वैद्य राजन पटंकर जी को लेते हैं, उसके साथ साथ फिर हमारे निशांत शुक्ला जी के 2-2 मिनट में बहुत तो बहुमूल्य विचार आने हैं। वैद्य राजन पटंकर जी, आप अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करिए, हम लोग लाभान्वित होंगे। स्वागत है आपका। नमस्कार।
अभी मैडम ने बहुत ही अच्छा बताया, तो उसके ऊपर एक 2-4 ही बातें ऐड करना चाहूंगा कि जैसा मैडम ने कहा कि हर जगह पे कि बहुत आईटी सेक्टर्स में वगैरह वगैरह, ये तो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट है ही। और उसके साथ साथ में कि स्वस्थ वृत्त के बारे में और आयुर्वेद के जो बेसिक्स है उसके बारे में पब्लिक अवेयरनेस हर जगह पे, जहाँ पे भी मौका मिले वहाँ पे जा करके उसके बारे में लेक्चर्स और उनका इम्पोर्टेंस। मैडम, हमने महाराष्ट्र में कि जो शालेय शिक्षण में आयुर्वेद, ऐसा एक प्रयोग 4 साल पहले किया था। तो उसमें जो अपने आयुर्वेद के बेसिक्स है वो 7th, 8th और 9th स्टैंडर्ड में बुक्स में उनके इंक्लूड किए गए थे। पर बाद में जैसे सरकार बदल गई तो वो सब उसमें से निकल गया। तो उसमें से ऐसा करके अवेयरनेस पब्लिक में ये करना, ये मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट है। जैसा सबने कहा कि हर जगह पे टावर्स, जगदीश्वर जी ने कहा कि टावर्स आ रहे हैं, सब आ रहे हैं। स्पेशली जो बड़े सिटीज है उसमें जो कंस्ट्रक्शन चल रहा है उसके वजह से भी साउंड पोल्यूशन और एयर पोल्यूशन बहुत होता है, क्योंकि हर जगह पे सीमेंट और ये सब यूज होता है। बाद में रोड के बारे में जो खुदाई होती है वहाँ पे जो अलग अलग टाइप के जो मशीन्स यूज होते हैं उनसे भी नॉइज पोल्यूशन है, एयर पोल्यूशन है। और मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि हम लोग अभी ऑनलाइन जो वेबिनार करते हैं वो टेक्नोलॉजी के हिसाब से बहुत ही अच्छा है, नो डाउट, पर उसका भी कितना उपयोग करना चाहिए या उसका कितना उपयोग में लाना चाहिए उसके बारे में भी अवेयरनेस बच्चों को देना चाहिए। हाँ, तो ये एक मेरा मानना है। और मैं मेरे पेशेंट्स को कि जो आईटी सेक्टर वाले वगैरह वगैरह, क्योंकि बॉम्बे जैसे सिटी में करीबन 1-2-2.5 घंटे का ट्रैवल करके वो ऑफिस जाते हैं, वहां से फिर घर पे आते हैं, तो उनको सोते समय सिर्फ कैस्टर ऑयल का एक बूंद आंखों के ऊपर से लगाने के लिए बोलता हूँ, तो वो भी बहुत अच्छा बेनिफिशियल रहता है। और आपने जैसा कहा कि नस्य, वो भी हर एक को कहता हूँ कि घर में जो भी तेल रहेगा, चाहे वो तिल का रहे, कोकोनट ऑयल रहे, उसे नस्य करना वो भी जरूरी है। और नस्य करते समय सिर्फ लिटिल फिंगर से भी अगर नाक में अंदर से घुमाएंगे तो भी वो उतना ही बेनिफिशियल होता है, ऐसा एक मेरा अनुभव है। सो अग्निहोत्री, थैंक यू, लेट ज्वाइन हुआ जरा।
नहीं नहीं, आप बहुत दिनों बाद इतनी सुरीली आवाज सुनने को मिली। आप सीनियर लोग हैं, आप
अरे
जुड़े
नहीं
रहा
वो-
करिए। हम
नहीं,
लोग
सर
थोड़ा।
मुझे कुछ ऐड करना है, करूँ क्या?
Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. I am seeing that you have raised your hand. So again मैं अपने एडवोकेट साहब डॉक्टर नरेंद्र
यस
आचार्य
यस,
जी का निवेदन करूंगा कि वो अपनी बात
माइकर मैडम ने और हमारे राजन सर ने बहुत अच्छा सुझाव दिया है। मैं एक इस बारे में थोड़ा अनुभूत ये बोलना चाहूंगा कि नशे के बारे में। जस्ट आई वॉज ए पेशेंट, जस्ट अनुभूत, खुद का अनुभव। आई वॉज अ पेशेंट ऑफ अस्थमा सिंस चाइल्डहुड। नाउ माई एज इज 63। पिछले 4 साल से जस्ट एक घरेलू उपाय कर रहा हूं मैं। जस्ट एक हाथ पर 4 बूंद खोपरे का तेल और नाक में रोज सुबह डाला हूं। That proved to be very beneficial in Corona era also. And since 4 years, I have not used any Asthalin or Bidacort.
Oh, good, good.
So that is very, and I have instructed all my family members कि कोरोना पीरियड में मैंने वो सबको करने को ले बोलना। और रेस्पिरेटरी जितने भी तकलीफ है, मेरी खुद की तकलीफ कम हो गई। मुझे तो जरा भी हर 8-10 दिन में जरा ही धूल हुआ तो इतना एलर्जी होता है। वी यूज्ड टू स्नीज एंड इट वाज वेरी ट्रबलसम। फॉर होल लाइफ 58 years आई हैव सफर्ड। सिंस लास्ट 4 years मुझे जरा भी कुछ तकलीफ नहीं है, लेकिन देर आए दुरुस्त आए। अनदर थिंग आई वांटेड टू ऐड, नॉइज पोल्यूशन। अभी आजकल ड्यू टू मोबाइल, हर एक बिल्डिंग पर मोबाइल टावर्स आ रहे हैं। तो उसके ऊपर वो मैं अनफॉर्चुनेटली मेरे दिमाग से रह गया क्योंकि समय नहीं मिला मुझे प्रेजेंटेशन ऐड करने के लिए। तो हर एक मोबाइल टावर्स का कुछ रेडिएशंस रहता है और दैट रेडिएशंस का कुछ लिमिट रहता है। मुझे वो उसका परिमाण अभी मुंह पर नहीं है, और वो परिमाण, वो रेडिएशन वो पर्टिकुलर लिमिट से ज्यादा है, इट कैन बी डेंजरस टू रेसिडेंट एंड पीपल हु आर लिविंग not only in that building, in adjoining area also of 120 200 meters also. तो वो radiations का जो है वो that should be in limit, and no any company tells that कि हम लोग का radiation हमारा ऐसा है वैसा है। और उसके ऊपर कंट्रोल में रखने के लिए कोई नॉर्म्स प्रॉपर अभी तक नहीं है मेरे इसमें। दो आई एम इन मेडिकल लीगल फील्ड, so we need to observe that also. और आजकल मोबाइल टावर्स एवरी अल्टरनेट बिल्डिंग के ऊपर है ही मोबाइल टावर, और हर एक कंपनी वो बिल्डिंग को, रेसिडेंट वालों को अच्छा फंड्स देती है। तो पीपल आर ल्यूर्ड, उनको मोह होता है कि मैं हम लोग भी वो करें ताकि हमारा मेंटेनेंस फ्री रहे। लेकिन ये जो हजार्ड है, इट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। इट इज मोर देन मोबाइल फोन हम लोग 24 आवर्स जेब में लेके घूमते हैं, पॉकेट में लगते हैं। व्हाट इज इट इज हैविंग हैजर्ड टू अवर हार्ट, किडनी, वो उसके ऊपर तो हमारा पूरा डेटा किसी ने किया नहीं, पब्लिश नहीं। तो मेरे ख्याल से वो नेक्स्ट फेज में वो रहेंगे, क्योंकि वो मोबाइल की वजह से ऐसा हुआ। वो हमें लिंक मालूम नहीं है ये किसकी वजह से हुआ है, कि किडनी स्टोन किसकी वजह से हुआ। जेब के पैंट के पॉकेट में हम लोग मोबाइल रखते हैं, शर्ट के पॉकेट में रखते हैं, कुछ लोग बेल्ट में रखते हैं। बीच में आया था कि उसके ऊपर लेड के शील्ड रखे, लेकिन आजकल कोई मार्केट में नहीं आया, इसके मतलब नोबडी यूजिंग। अगर बहुत लोग यूज करते तो बराबर मार्केट में आ ही जाता है। So it is not a talk of town, but it will be a talk of town in few years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Today's recent news is this, that today Vodafone, Jio, all were down because government has fixed timeline of 1,000 microwave towers conversion from 4G to 5G. So they are not able to convert that. They are only converting 250 per day. So just see, 4G users are now ignored because of this transaction. And 5G is more dangerous than 4G. So what will happen? We don't know how many brain cancers will develop or brain tumors will develop there. We are really unaware of that. So really, it means hazardous, absolutely hazardous.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर गायन जी। आपने बहुत अच्छी एक चिंता जाहिर की कि मोबाइल से जो डायरेक्ट रेडिएशन हो रहा है उससे हम सब प्रभावित हैं। शायद आपने सुना होगा बाबा रामदेव जी अपने सुबह के सेशन में रोज बताते हैं कि मोबाइल की बैक की तरफ और कवर के बीच में तुलसी दल रख लीजिए, तुलसी पत्ता रख लीजिए, तो काफी हद तक वो रेडिएशन कम करता है। और मैंने तो लगाया हुआ था, मुझे अच्छा लगा। तुलसी जी ही चली जाए वो अलग बात है, लेकिन तुलसी जी हफ्ता 10 दिन में सूख जाए, बदल सकते हैं। और आप प्लीज अपना हैंड डाउन कर लीजिए। और मैं प्रोफेसर निशांत शुक्ला जी से चाहूंगा कि वो भी आज के में
एक ही जरा उसमें ऐड करना चाहता हूँ, एक ही चीज।
जी
एक ही
प्लीज
चीज।
प्लीज।
हाँ, क्योंकि मेरा बेटा जो है यूएस में, वो कॉलकॉम में काम कर रहा है, और वो अभी उसने वहां पे 5G का प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर बहुत काम किया। तो उसका भी यही कहना है कि जितने जितने आगे चलते जाएंगे उतना वो मोर डेंजरस है। पर जो उनका इंस्टॉलेशन जो लैपटॉप में या टैब में होता है वो ज्यादा डेंजरस नहीं है, पर मोबाइल का जरूर है। और वहां पे जो मैंने भी देखा कि वहां पे टावर जो है वो ज्यादा लंबे और बहुत सारे डिस्टेंस के ऊपर है, अपने यहाँ के जैसा नहीं है। तो वो भी एक थोड़ा सा ध्यान देना चाहिए। थैंक यू।
मैं आदरणीय निशांत शुक्ला जी को आमंत्रित करता हूं कि वो आज के प्लेटफॉर्म पर के विषय पर अपनी चर्चा करें थोड़ा सा। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। स्वागत है सर, स्वागत है, नमस्कार।
थैंक यू अग्निहोत्री सर, थैंक यू पवन जी, आपने मुझे चांस दिया।
आपका प्लेटफॉर्म है
आज
सर,
तो मैं
आपका
एक ही चीज जो मैंने कहूंगा, सुश्रुत का एक वाक्य नस्य प्रतिवर्ष नस्य के बारे में जो सुश्रुत ने कहा है, ग्रहण निर्गच्छता सेवितो नासा स्रोतसः क्लिन्नतया रजो धूम वा न बाधते। तो ये जो है, ये एक प्रिवेंटिव एस्पेक्ट जो है, ये है अनागत बाधा प्रतिषेधनीय से है ये, कि भाई आप किस प्रकार से अपने आप को प्रिवेंट कर सकते हो। तो व्हेन वी सी, आई एम टेकिंग दिस टू कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी एंड पॉल्यूशन, टू डिफरेंट टॉपिक्स। The first one is about the pollution, and when we see the pollution, we have the different list of pollution: sound pollution, light pollution, air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and lastly the light pollution, radiation hazard. So these are all coming. And one more we may have in the future, it is with the stress pollution, the working atmosphere, changing working atmosphere. So how to manage this one the holistically? One thing is that there are some regulations that needs to be done. That is a society approach or the mass approach, the public hygiene part of the public hygiene, and some of the part of the personal hygiene. And this reference I just quoted, it is how to protect oneself from the external factors. So this is one way how Ayurveda can be utilized for the personal healthcare practices. Now coming on to the computer literacy part, for record keeping, analyzing of the report, analyzing the records, and the DBMS, database management system, and the rational medicine, the evidence-based medicine. For that one, we need to have a very education of the computer. Some work has been taken up by the CDAC. I have not seen the software of that one. There are the personal reason that I have not purchased that software, but that will help in making the decision process, diagnostic process easily. These are the different techniques or the awareness which is required in the IRES. These are my words. Thank you very much for giving me the chance to share my views. Thank you, Agnihotri sir. Thank you, Pawan Sharma sir.
Your valuable direction regarding all the pollutions, especially sound, light, noise, radiation, stress pollution, especially a new word which came from you. It makes the whole Parikrama Karkam completed by this submission. And I think that today's
One more thing I just left in between. Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt. The reference that what I have quoted, I have just published a paper on this one, a review paper on Pratimarshnas and how it can be prevented. That has been published in STM Journals in 2016. It's just to share the thing. That's only that. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please,
It is
sir.
always there in the
Sorry
books
for
in
this,
literature, but
interruption.
your experience reveals the effect of on human being or on its use. So it is very important. This is what the practical shape of our literature and our text and our principles. So thank you so much, and our thanks to all the viewers and all the panelists, those who have just came in our discussion. I would like to request Professor Pawan Sharma ji, you please may welcome our new entrants and also supposed to inform the tomorrow's webinar subject. Thank you, sir. Over to Pawan Sharma ji. Namaskar. आप म्यूट है सर.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to be introduced with Neha ji. Neha ji with us. Welcome, madam. Welcome. Swagatam.
नमस्कार सर. नमस्कार सर. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार. नमस्कार.
नमस्कार.
मुस्कान फाउंडेशन के बारे में कुछ संक्षिप्त में गाइड कीजिए, बाकी तो कल डिटेल में आपसे आशीर्वाद लेंगे हम.
जी सर. सर मुस्कान फाउंडेशन एक आई डोनेशन पे काम करता है, आयुष पे काम करता है, और एक मुस्कान फाउंडेशन का एम हेल्थ है, हेल्थ के ऊपर कार्य करता है. मेन फोकस वो आई डोनेशन पे करता है सर. आंखों की देखरेख, आंखों के लिए मोतियाबिंद ऑपरेशन गांव-गांव में जाके मुस्कान फाउंडेशन की टीम डॉक्टर्स के द्वारा मोतियाबिंद के ऑपरेशन फ्री करवाती है सर. और शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में भी वो आजकल हमारे यूथ जुड़े हुए हैं, तो वो शिक्षा स्कूलों में जाके शिक्षा भी दे रहे हैं अपना टाइम देकर. मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
जी आ रही है.
हाँ जी सर. मेन ये है कि जहाँ जीवन दान देने की बात आती है, जीवन को बचाने के लिए रक्तदान के द्वारा भी, ब्लड डोनेशन द्वारा भी हमारे कैंप लगाए जाते हैं. वहाँ हम भी मतलब हमारी टीम पूरी साथ देती है जहां तक पहुंच सकते हैं. हमारा मानना है कि जहां किसी की जान बचानी हो या जिसके काम हम आ सके, हमारा जो श्वास है, हम किसी के काम आ सकें, हम किसी के लिए खड़े रहें, वही हमारा एक उद्देश्य है सर.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद जी. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप ऐसे ही सबके चेहरे पे मुस्कान देते रहे, यही हमारी प्रार्थना है.
इनकी बेटी का नाम मुस्कान है, इसलिए इन्होंने उसका नाम फाउंडेशन का नाम जो है मुस्कान फाउंडेशन रखा है.
क्या बात.
सर ब्लड डोनेशन, आई डोनेशन के साथ साथ हम देहदान का भी काम करते हैं सर. अब तक मुस्कान फाउंडेशन के 3 देहदान भी हो चुके हैं सर.
इसमें आपका पहला है?
मेरे हस्बैंड का पहला है देहदान. आज से 4 साल पहले उनकी शरीर शांत हो गया था सर.
मैं नमन करता हूँ आपको, आपके साहस को और आपकी ऊर्जा को, तीनों को नमन करता हूँ. अभी मैंने बेलगावी में एक ऐसा एग्जाम्पल देखा जो मैं शायद कभी नहीं भूल पाऊंगा. बेलगावी केएलई कॉलेज में प्रोफेसर शारीर रचना मीन्स एनाटॉमी के जो प्रोफेसर हैं, वो देहदान के मिशन में लगे हुए हैं. और जिस समय अभी हम गए थे, उनके फादर की डेड बॉडी वो खुद डिसेक्ट करके और बच्चों को बता रहे हैं. इससे बड़ा क्या है. गजब गजब कि कभी नहीं भूल पाऊंगा
सर. अभी हाल ही में मेरी मीटिंग हुई है जॉली ग्रांड में, तो मुझे बताया गया है कि जो मेरे हस्बैंड की बॉडी है, या मेरे अभी फादर 4 महीने पहले उनका देहदान हुआ है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने एक रिक्वेस्ट रखी थी कि जब रिसर्च के लिए जाया जाए वो बॉडी, मतलब वो शरीर, तो वो मुझे बुलाया जाए. तो उन्होंने, मैम ने आश्वासन दिया है कि ऐसा कुछ होता है, वर्कशॉप के लिए रखी गई है, यदि ऐसा कुछ होता है तो मुझे इनवाइट करेंगी. तो मेरे लिए वो प्राउड महसूस होगा कि आज उनका शरीर किसी रिसर्च के लिए काम आएगा सर.
गजब गजब. नमन है आप. नमन है आप सबकी इच्छा शक्ति को और नमन है, बहुत नमन, गजब। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Really hats
Tomorrow,
off. Really hats off.
as
Really
we
hats off.
Mrs. Neha Malik will be there, Deepa ji,
Yes.
Rupam ji, and Dr. Swikrati ji will be tomorrow with
Yes.
us. And then day after tomorrow,
Yes.
2 days are there, Navy Day and Wildlife Conservation Day. So all 2 days will be celebrated. And then after, on 5th, it will be a gap, and on 6th, there will be 3 webinars on soil conservation and this series of days. I'm really proud of world's creative persons that they are celebrating each and every day with 10 or 20 names. Really, thank you. They have given us opportunity to introduce our IOS in the each and every moment and segment of the life. Thank you very much. Agnihotri sir.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir. Good night.